What is something that seems basic, but that humanity figured out surprisingly recently? The compound bow was developed after nuclear weapons. Glass. Some cultures have had glassware for a long time while others developed without it. Japan and China are great examples of not having it, and it impacts their architecture design as they did not have glass pane windows. China also has had arguably some of the best ceramics artisans because of the need for stone, where glass cups would have worked. We are going back a couple hundred years here, but that's still fairly recent in terms of mankind's history. Heels on suitcases. It wasn't until 1982 that scientists accepted mass extinction was a real phenomenon. Until that point, we had thought extinction was similar to evolution, and it was just a gradual thing that happened evenly throughout time. This is from Wikipedia. It was not until 1982, when David Ropp and Jack Sepkoski published their seminal paper on mass extinctions, that Cuvier was vindicated and catastrophic extinction was accepted as an important mechanism. It's not that we didn't believe in extinction, but rather we just didn't think it could really be a sudden event. Hat's stomach ulcers were caused by a bacterial infection. Years ago, scientists learned that tongues can smell. They can detect some odors as part of the tasting process. Allele vitamins were discovered between 1913 and 1948. Scientists knew that nutrition deficiencies were causing diseases, but couldn't figure out what was deficient. They fed mice highly purified food, but the mice failed to thrive until milk was added, leading to the theory that there was some life-sustaining, but unidentified, component in milk that was not present in the other food. That led to decades of speculation and research until the first vitamin A was discovered in 1913. To tell if someone is dead. There's a reason people used to keep family members who they thought had passed in their home for weeks before burying them. Squeeze bottles with the cap on the bottom. Ketchup, shampoo, salad dressing. Late tectonics wasn't known until the mid-1960s. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs wasn't known until the 1980s. Stirrups. I dunno if I'd call it recently, considering the earliest stirrups are dated to around 700 BC, but we'd been riding horses for about 4,000 years before that. The idea of a loop in the saddle to help you mount, and to brace yourself as you do battle from horseback, seems so obvious now, but it was thousands of years before anyone thought to do it. Omans knew that heat goes up, but never connected it to flight, so hot air balloons, I guess. Lockdowns taught us what jobs actually can be work from home. Eyes do feel pain. Milk chocolate is younger than the machine gun. Hope. It has made a huge impact on humanity. 11. Think an immediate emergency line didn't happen until the 1960s. Tiny invisible things exist that can make you sick and other stuff. They actually thought the guy was crazy. Post-it notes. Buttons. Left and right shoes. Cutlery that doesn't make the food taste awful and isn't ridiculously expensive. Gold and silver cutlery were useful to the rich besides being a display of wealth because they could eat without affecting the taste of the food. Copper, brass, tin, etc. all really strongly affect the flavor of the food. The earliest cutlery is some 4,000 years old, but for most of that time, very few people used it. Instead, they'd eat with their hands. Stainless steel was only invented in the 1800s, and its high resistance to acid and no discernible taste made it suitable for cutlery.